The Nazi Party, which otherwise can seem hopelessly contradictory, makes a lot more sense when you recognize the middle-class component of its base. Consider, for instance, the seemingly contradictory way in which the Nazis described the Weimar Republic. On the one hand, they attacked it from a seemingly anti-capitalist perspective, saying the Republic was ruled by the ruthless greed of big business, financiers, and banks. On the other hand, they attacked it from an anti-Marxist perspective, saying that the country was in the hands of Marxist Jews who had no respect for property rights. This tension was the outcome of the middle-class standpoint it represented. Consider small business owners. On the one hand, they feared big businesses, which, due to their extensive capital and scale, were able to operate more cheaply and efficiently, and thereby often pushed small businesses out of the market by outcompeting them or buying them up. This was the source of their anti-capitalist sentiments, but insofar as they employed people in their small businesses, they were opposed to calls for wage increases. They also resented the labor movement for demanding public social policies that were partly funded by business owners' taxes, and they opposed the radical labor movement's calls for the socialization of private property. In both the capitalist and the socialist systems, they saw attempts to take away the business that they had invested so much in, and this is one of the things that made Nazi rhetoric so appealing to them. The way they saw it, big businesses were able to influence politics by means of their massive wealth, and the working class was able to influence politics by means of their large collective organizations, namely trade unions and mass parties. And in between these two, the middle classes were left behind, and they saw the Nazi Party as their new representatives coming to the rescue. And this sense of being threatened from both directions, threatened by both big capital and big labor, led to a kind of middle-class paranoia so characteristic of fascist politics, a paranoia that very easily lends itself to various kinds of xenophobia and anti-Semitism, and conspiracy theories about who really runs things. This explains also the contradiction in how Nazi propaganda depicted Jewish people. On the one hand, they were described with characteristics typically associated with the rich, greedy, self-interested, and concerned only with money. On the other hand, they were also described in ways associated with the poor, that they are dirty, uncultured, and spread disease. This was a characterization of the Jew that the middle classes could apply to both the big capitalists.
Literally substitute Jew for immigrant, and you arrive at where we're at in the United States of America. Okay? Straight up, bar for bar, verbatim the same. They're stealing our jobs, but they're also lazy and stealing our social safety nets. They're stealing our jobs, but they're also selling drugs and killing people. It is an obvious contradiction when you say someone is stealing your job, but they're also stealing your benefits and your welfare. How the fuck do you do all of those at the same time? Yeah, they're also homeless. They're both homeless and crashing the housing market. Every problem is directed back to the migrants. Specifically, they're also like causing diseases. They're disease-ridden.
To organized labor, which was appealing in the way that it simplified the world. Behind all these things that threaten my property is really just one specific group of people.
The Jewish population was causing economic issues in Germany. That's a fact. Doesn't make it right, but there has to be a bit of truth to get the population to go along. What the fuck do you mean? Let's watch how the winners frame the past. Ha ha ha. What? Brother is straightforward like a 1930s style Nazi. That's crazy. Like he literally said, let's watch the winners frame the past, as in like he is like an open out and about fucking Nazi. And he's saying like the winners of World War II rewrote history and framed it in a way that is unfair. Do you think Destiny and Charlie... It took me 3 seconds to find out what community that this fucking Nazi is coming from. Every single damn time.